Tonight on Connecticut's news station, a day of persistent rain coming to an end, but there are some places experiencing flooding. We'll show you where the heaviest rain fell and a look ahead to a sunny Sunday.
Plus, a Connecticut prison inmate facing charges now for stabbing 2 corrections officers. Where it happened, the weapon he used, and what happens now.
New laws going into effect Sunday, and one of them changes how the state treats hemp-based products. Now CBD retailers say the law will hurt their businesses. We'll explain coming up.
And a scam alert for students at one Connecticut university. Officials saying a man is selling tickets to a comedy show that's not even real. Where their investigation stands tonight.
Fox 61, Connecticut's news station, begins with a Weather Watch alert.
And we begin tonight on the weather as we wrap up a day filled with heavy downpours. Thanks for joining us on the news at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Samaya Hernandez. That storm system is still looming large over the state tonight. And over the course of the day, it's dropped inches of rain. The Litchfield Hills have been hit especially hard, leaving many roads flooded and the Housatonic River swelling.
Let's send things right over to meteorologist Ryan Breton. Ryan, the question on everyone's mind is, when does the rain let up? And do we get a break this weekend?
We do, and it's in the process of letting up. Finally, Brent and Samaya, but it has been a day, especially in the western half of the state, down into the New York City metro area. We've had more than 4 inches of rain since just midnight, from Windsor Locks through Waterbury, Danbury, White Plains, and then you hit places around Central Park, JFK, into Queens, 6, 7, 8 inches of rain. It was just pouring and pouring. Now we do have some rivers that are in flood. The Pomperaug River in Southbury, actually with its highest crest since back in March of 2011. Fortunately, it's now starting to go down. The Housatonic at Stevenson Dam causing moderate flooding there. It's still going up a little bit. And the Farmington River at Unionville going to start going down, but it's still going up down the road in Simsbury. Here's a look at the radar right now. You can see compared to a few hours ago, it's not as widespread and it's not quite as heavy, but we still have a few downpours out there, some going through Chester, Haddam at this point, getting into the rain as well. In the Hartford area, it's a little bit lighter, and we've actually dropped the rain completely around Waterbury, just a few sprinkles and some areas of drizzle there. So the heaviest rain is over, but we've tallied up 3 to 5 inches of it in western and northern Connecticut. Not much additional, maybe a ½ an inch to an inch in spots, but that would be pushing it. And with most rivers and streams cresting, things will keep improving, but a couple of the bigger ones will keep rising. We have improving weather coming for the weekend. It will be a slow start tomorrow, but I'll be back to talk about all of that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right. Thank you, Ryan. To Torrington now, where several roads are closed tonight due to flooding. Litchfield County, one of the areas that was hit with the heaviest rain today.
Yeah, it's where we find Fox 61's Gabby Molina tonight. She joins us now live from where the worst damage is and to tell us why officials say it's so dangerous to drive in these conditions. Hi, Gabby.
Hi, Brett and Samaya. Well, the good news here tonight is that it finally stopped raining, but we are still seeing some of the effects of all that rain that we got today. I'm on Summer Street right now, which behind me you can see is pretty flooded. Even from where I'm just standing right here, this is where you can start to see the water collecting. And from here, it really only gets worse as you get closer to the bridge. So now this street is closed. There are road closed signs, and people should really try to not go around those signs. Turn around, don't drown. Do not go around those barricades. Those are there to keep you safe. They are there for a reason. Now, there are several other roads in this area that are also closed. Torrington police posting on social media that Sawmill Hill Road at Cardinal Circle is also closed. Greenwoods Road by Pinewoods Road, Marshall Lake Road by Waygold Road, and Winstead Road by Machuga Road. Torrington police asking anyone who comes across a road with any substantial amount of water to report it, saying that you truly never know how deep the water is or what may be underneath it. So back out here live on Summer Street again. This is an area where it's really important to keep something like that in mind because it's dark out, there's not a lot of lights, so you really can't see from a distance just how deep the water is. So if anyone were to try and go around those barricades, they would be in the water by the time that they realize just how deep it is under the bridge. So again, the rain has stopped, but the flooding really has not subsided, at least in this area. So for the time being, if you see any of those road closed signs, turn around, do not go past that barricade, and you should report any roads that you see with any substantial water on them as well. For now, live in Torrington, Gabby Molina, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All good advice, Gabby. Thank you. And to be prepared for whenever wild weather strikes, just download the free Fox 61 News app for hour-by-hour updates and to watch the radar in real time. We'll also send you alerts on weather threats happening in your area and all across the state. All right, to a developing story out of New Haven now. Police say they have arrested the father of a 3-month-old baby boy after that baby was found with severe head injuries. The infant suffered a skull fracture and traumatic injuries to his brain. At the last report by police, the infant was unable to breathe on his own, and he remains at Yale New Haven Pediatric Hospital tonight. Police have not yet released the name of the father, but say he is charged with assault and risk of injury to a minor. We will continue to update this story as we learn more.
And the cause of a serious crash that severely injured 4 people in Fairfield is still unknown tonight. That happened on Jefferson Street. 4 women attending Sacred Heart University were in an Uber that collided with another car. At last report, the Uber driver and 3 of those students are in critical condition. The 4th woman and the driver of the other car were treated at the scene.
Police have made an arrest in connection to a violent assault outside a Windsor Locks cafe overnight. Jesus Flores from Texas is accused of stabbing 2 people after a fight over seating at the Blackboard Cafe on Spring Street just before 1 a.m. We're told one of the victims suffered 9 stab wounds. Flores claims he acted in self-defense. Police used a canine to track a second suspect but were unsuccessful. Police say that suspect was believed to have been involved in the fight but not involved in the stabbing.
New at 10 tonight, an inmate at Garner Correctional Institution in Newtown has been charged with stabbing 2 corrections officers with an improvised weapon. Connecticut State Police say 35-year-old inmate Joe Baltas stabbed a CO in the neck while being released for out-of-cell time back in August. He's accused of fighting and stabbing another CO that arrived as backup. After the incident, Baltas was transferred to McDougall Walker in Suffield, where he faces a host of charges and is held on $1 million bond.
To a Fox 61 exclusive now, Quinnipiac University is teaming up with Hamden Police to track down a man who they say has been posing as a student to scam people on campus.
Fox 61's Carmen Chow joins us from Quinnipiac University with more on what officials are saying there.
Police say this man identifies himself as Jeff, and he tells everybody he's part of the Quinnipiac Activities Club, but further investigation revealed he's not part of any QU club at all.
I was like, whoa, like, where did this dude come from?
That was the reaction of Deja Josie after receiving this email from Public Safety on Thursday, warning everyone to be on the lookout for this man. Police say he was entering into more than 3 classrooms in the Communications and Computing and Engineering building on the Mount Carmel campus to sell $10 tickets to a New York comedy show. They added he was specifically looking for occupied classrooms.
We walked in, excused himself, and asked if he could speak to the class.
The man claimed to be with the Quinnipiac Activities Club, but no club like that exists. A student told police the man used a tap system device to take credit card or PayPal payments. Students were then given a phone number to retrieve their tickets. That is when they knew something seemed off.
It was a little concerning about like how someone could get on campus so freely and in a building and do whatever they want.
The man is described to have curly brown hair and a beard, wearing a teal shirt, black jacket, blue jeans, and carrying a Truly brand backpack. Police are working to find out how he was granted access on campus.
We do have increased patrols in the area. All of our officers were notified within the moments after the incident occurred, so the entire department knows about what happened there, and everyone is keeping an extra eye out.
Students now keeping their eyes peeled in case this man comes back.
I felt nervous and a little worried. During that time, I was not in this part of campus, but it was still worrying because I had friends on this side of campus.
If someone were to try and sell me something, I would obviously do some background check and like research and ask them who they are before I, give them any money.
Police also adding if you are a victim of this scam to reach out to your bank or credit card company. The university also says it would never approve of a stranger interrupting classroom time for this type of activity. Reporting in Hamden, Carmen Chow, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Carmen, thank you. Well, new at 10 tonight, several new laws go into effect on October 1st, including one that changes the threshold for what is considered a high THC hemp product. Hemp edibles, topicals, or transdermal patches will now be limited to 1 milligram of THC per serving or 5 milligrams of THC per container. And that means many existing CBD retailers in the state will have to either change the way their products are packaged or stop selling them altogether. The Your CBD store in Rocky Hill says for them it'll mean having to take some of their products off the shelves.
We do have some full spectrum products that are non-psychoactive that, our consumers depend on us having. You can't get it at a dispensary. It's exclusive to us at SunMed Your CBD store franchise. And, we won't be able to sell those any longer because of how the law was written.
Now, federal law says products with less than 0.3% of THC are legal to sell.